once you're settling for that nonsense is what you're going to be known as. Do not categorize your acquaintance as friends. Hi, welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about 10 things I learned in 2024. It's a new year. People would say it's new beginnings, new goals, new aspirations. Before we get into all of that, let's reflect on 2024 and what we learned. And I'm going to be practicing those things in 2025. Okay, so if you're interested and you also like to share some of the things you learned, stay tuned and keep on watching. The first thing I would say I learned is stop waiting for the perfect moment. Life can happen, life can change at any time. Live your life. Stop procrastinating. That's the word. Stop procrastinating. Stop thinking you have the luxury of time, because you do not. One thing that I would always say is time waits for no man. So if you think, okay, you're supposed to do something, you keep procrastinating it, you keep pushing it, you're playing yourself. Life can change at any moment. The things you thought you had time to do, there's no time anymore. Before you know it, we're in 2027. So the things you've written down or the things you said you were going to do in 2024 that you did not do it, or you did not do, start doing them now. The second thing I would say is prioritize your time. It's still very similar to my first point. I think one thing I learned this year was timing. Is it from prioritizing your timing? Stop waiting for the perfect time, knowing that God knows the right time for anything to happen, or just living life according to where you are right now. But that's one thing I learned this year, is to prioritize your time. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to meet up with people, meet up with them. It's your time, it's their time. You need to respect your time, and you also need to respect their time. Nobody is just sitting down and waiting for you. No, you need to prioritize your time in order for other people to also even prioritize your own time for you. Know what you're doing, set goals, achieve those goals within that time period, because you can set goals if you do not prioritize those goals or prioritize your time for those goals to achieve those goals. You're not going to do anything, and time will just pass you by like in the blink of an eye. The next thing I will say I learned this year is limit who know and has access to you, because it's not everybody or every Tom, Dick and Harry that is supposed to know your name. Not your name, obviously, but supposed to know what's going on in your life. It's not every Tom, Dick and Harry that can have access or gain access to you, that can, just claim they know you on the streets. No, don't do that to yourself. You should not make yourself steadily available for any or just any person. Know who you're giving your time to, know who has access to you, know who can call you at any time, and okay, yes, I'm going to pick this person's call because this person deserves my time. It may sound weird or it may sound funny, but it's very important, especially in this day and age. Limit who knows you and limit who has access to you, because the way social media is structured right now, you may have access to someone or someone might have access to you, and then all of a sudden, next thing you're seeing, they're doing a story time about you on the clock app. And you're wondering, how did this person have all of this information about you? Or maybe perhaps you might fall out with someone and this person had so much access to you that they go on the clock app and start doing story time about your own life, that you did not even have an idea that they knew this information about you. So you should limit what you tell people, limit and know who the people are that you let into your life. Next thing I would say is overthinking is not going to solve the problem. So for all my overthinkers, come. Let's all gather here together. Overthinking is not going to solve the problem at all. However, taking action would. Is something I learned this year, and I learned it the hard way. I wouldn't say the hard way, but I just figured it out. Because if you're overthinking about a particular problem, and this is something you can change, why are you not just acting towards it? Or why are you not just figuring out what you can do now to change it? Take, for example, for me, when something happens to me or when something I'm expecting is taking time to come and I start finding myself overthinking, I ask myself these questions. Can I do anything to change the outcome? No. Can I do anything right now that can help me achieve this thing? Yes. Is there a way I can help myself to not overthink? Yes. First thing first, I will go and sleep. It does not make sense, but for me, I would go and sleep. I will sleep for like 2 hours. When I wake up, I then pray to God, or I pray before I sleep. Sleep and prayers are shared together when I find myself overthinking, because I'll just go, sit down, pray to God, then go and sleep. When I sleep, I wake up, I start thinking of what next to do or what action I can take to solve that problem. Because if you sit down and overthink and you're not doing anything about the problem you're overthinking about, it's going to be there and you're going to think and keep thinking and keep thinking, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be like a pest and perch on you. So you either have to work towards it, take action, or keep overthinking. Which one do you want to go with? It's your choice, honestly. The next thing I learned is patience and trusting God in all that you do. Do I need to elaborate on that? If you're someone who is a Christian or a Muslim, or you believe in something, one thing they would always say is have faith or have patience or trust God. I feel sometimes people may not take that literally, but you need to take that literally, because when God chooses to do his actions, you yourself, you will be surprised as to how the things just worked out perfectly without you even stressing. One thing I learned this year is patience and trusting God to do his work. That's it. If you allow God to take the lead in your life, if you allow God to do his work, God is going to show out and come through. He's going to do it in a way you did not even think it was possible to be done. That's one thing I learned, is to trust in God and have patience and have faith in him. The next thing I would say is live in the moment. Enjoy the moment. Guys, make sure you're enjoying every day of your life. Every single day of your life, make sure you're enjoying it. The way time passes by and the way people do not live and enjoy their lives, they're either trying to compare themselves on social media or trying to onto the next thing or trying to go to the next thing. They might have achieved something, but they don't have the time to actually sit down and enjoy that thing they may have achieved, simply because it's a rat race. You're onto the next, onto the next, onto the next. You don't even have time to sit down and appreciate God for what he has done for you or the things he has provided for you. Okay, that's all I can say. But me, I learned to live in the moment. I learned to understand that whatever is happening right now is happening in the moment. So enjoy it while it lasts. The next thing I would say, or number 7 point on my list, is nothing would work unless you put in the work. Yes, we say trust God. Yes, we say believe in God. But if you're not working, it's not going to happen. One example I would give is this YouTube channel. I did not put in the work like that. I honestly did not put in the work on this YouTube channel. It did not grow as much as I wanted it to because I did not put in the work. But this year, we're putting in that work. Nothing is going to work unless you put in the work. So if you say you want to do something and you keep saying it, you talking about it is not going to make that thing happen. You telling every person or everybody, this is what you want to do, or this is what you wanted to do, or that's what you plan to do, it's not going to make it happen. You have to put in the work. You have to start. You have to pick up. You have to put the motion in before it actually happens, because if you do not do that, it's going to be stagnant and you're going to be looking at yourself and it's going to be looking at you as well. So put in the work, like do something in order to achieve the goal. The next thing I would say is love yourself, fight for yourself, advocate for yourself. I was someone who liked peace always. I like peace to reign. If anything happens, even if I'm not comfortable with it, I'll just say, yeah, it's fine. But you see me now, I'm not that person. If it did not sit right within my spirit and my soul, I'm going to tell you immediately. And I'm not someone who is not emotionally aware. I am very emotionally aware. I'm situationally aware. I am very aware. I'm sharp in the environment. Okay, so it's not like if the person is going through something, I'll just go and tell them, oh, this is not sit well with me. No, other situations before now, or before I learned this, I would not say anything. I would just harbor it in my heart and then it will remain there. But you see now, the glory of right now will tell you how she felt. If you said something, you did something, you're doing something that I do not like and it does not sit well with me, I will tell you. I will call you on the phone and I will tell you how I feel. It sort of shocked some people in my life that I was able to do these things, and it's just so funny because they always knew me as someone who is just calm, who just let things go, who is not going to talk about things, who will not confront it, or I would not speak up for myself. Nope, that changed completely. When it comes to jobs, gigs, if I'm working and you're doing things I don't like, I would tell you straight up. I would tell you to your face, I don't like this. Not in a rude way that will make you think I'm rude, but I would let you know I do not agree with this. That's something I learned this year, to speak up for myself, to love myself, to advocate for myself, and to appreciate myself. Because if you don't do these things, nobody is going to come and do them for you. If you think, oh, I'm waiting for someone to love me before I love myself, you're going to wait a very long time, because even if you find the person that actually loves you, you're not going to believe they love you, because you've not even gotten to a point of you loving yourself in order to be able to receive love from someone else. If you cannot advocate for yourself, if something is happening, someone is speaking up for you all the time, no one is going to take you serious, because they will genuinely and automatically believe you cannot stand up for yourself. So they will start taking you, they'll believe you're an unserious person. And I learned those things this year. Trust me, my life changed when I started speaking up for myself and advocating for myself. I always loved myself. Personally, I've always had mad love for myself, so that one was not a problem. I just added it in this just so for those of you who do not know how to love yourself yet, please love yourself. It's very important. The 9th thing I learned this year was do not settle. It doesn't matter what it is, what situation it is, do not settle. Is it relationship wise? Do not settle. Is it work wise? Do not settle. Is it friendship? Do not settle. Do not settle for nonsense, because once you are settling for that nonsense is what you're going to be known as. There are certain situations that happen to me, especially with work. I feel like most things I learned this year was with work. There are certain things and situations that happen with my work where one agency comes and tells me one thing. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Increase the budget or do this or do that. And they don't want to. And another agency comes and they do exactly what I asked the previous agency to do. And it's just so funny, because they could have easily done that and they could have gotten the commission, but no, they didn't. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going for what works best for me. So one thing I would let you know that is, do not settle. Don't settle for nonsense. If it's relationship, if you strongly believe that this person you're with is not who you want, or is not what you want, or is not what you aspired to have, or it's not just the person. Don't settle for nonsense is all I would tell you, okay? Please do not settle for nonsense. And the final thing I would say is know who your friends are and know who your acquaintances are. Be able to differentiate it. There are some people that you call friends. There are some people that you say, oh, this is my friend. You carry them on your head. You tell everybody, this is my friend, that is my friend. But them, they are denying you in public. When they call your name, they act like they don't know you. When they're talking about you, or when they're talking bad about you, they cannot defend you in public. Something good is happening in your life, they cannot call you to congratulate you. Different things may happen. What I would say is pay attention to who is there for you. Pay attention to who calls you. Pay attention to who checks up on you. Pay attention to who genuinely cares about you and who wants the best for you. Like, yes, life is happening to everyone. Sometimes your friends might not even have time or remember some good things that are happening to and for you. There's certain friends you expect certain things from, and when you expect these things from them and they don't come through, I'm not saying you should just cut them off. No, give them a chance. Give them a chance, okay? Just give them a chance, because sometimes they might be going through life. I understand that, but still, at the end of the day, know who your friends are and know who your acquaintances are. Do not categorize your acquaintance as friends, and do not categorize friends as acquaintance, okay? Know who shows up for you, know who is there for you, and do the same. Reciprocate the actions, all right? Those are some of the lessons I learned in 2024. I still would be practicing the same things I learned, because that's life. It's just life. Life goes on, okay? So let me know some of the things you guys learned in 2024. Let's talk about it. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.